Alright, let's dive into a story that's got layers. And I mean layers. It's about Berina Colakovic, wife of NRL star Jairo, who's suing her employer, StackAdapt, after being suspended on the day she was supposed to return from maternity leave. Now, on the surface, this might sound like a straightforward workplace dispute, but personally, I think it's a perfect case study for some of the deeper issues in corporate culture, gender dynamics, and the messy intersection of personal and professional life. Let's break it down. First off, the timing here is wild. Berina was suspended on the exact day she was set to return to work after having her first child. Now, StackAdapt claims it's because of staff complaints, but here's where it gets interesting. Berina says these complaints were vague and lack detail. In my opinion, this raises a red flag. If you take a step back and think about it, suspending someone on their first day back from maternity leave, without clear evidence or specifics, feels less like a performance issue and more like a strategic move. What this really suggests is that there might be a systemic issue here, one that many people don't realize is still so prevalent in 2024. What makes this even more compelling is Berina's perspective. She's not just fighting for herself, she's fighting for principle. She told the Daily Telegraph that she doesn't want her daughter, Isla, to grow up in a world where women are replaced or demoted while on maternity leave. Personally, I think this is where the story transcends the individual and becomes a broader commentary on workplace discrimination. It's not just about her job or her suspension, it's about the message this sends to women everywhere. And let's be real, this isn't an isolated incident. I've seen it before, and so have many of you. Women being sidelined or pushed out during or after maternity leave is a pattern, and it's one that needs to be called out. Now, let's talk about the context here. Berina's legal battle comes at a time when her husband, Jairo, has been diagnosed with motor neuron disease, MND. This adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Imagine dealing with a serious health crisis in your family while also fighting a legal battle against your employer. It's a lot, right? But here's what I find fascinating. Despite everything, Berina hasn't backed down. She's continuing her fight, and Jai has publicly supported her, saying it's his turn to stand by her side. This, to me, speaks volumes about their resilience and commitment to what they believe is right. But let's not forget the corporate side of this. StackAdapt has denied Berina's allegations, claiming she showed a pattern of disengagement and lacked empathy. Now, I'm not here to take sides, but I do think it's worth questioning why these issues weren't addressed before she went on maternity leave. Why wait until her return to suspend her? One thing that immediately stands out is the timing. It feels calculated. And if you ask me, it's a classic example of how companies can weaponize performance reviews or vague complaints to justify decisions that might have other motivations. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. Berina's lawyers allege that a superior threatened her back in September 2024, and that there were unlawful dismissals in her team. If true, this paints a picture of a toxic work environment. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of environments often thrive on ambiguity, vague complaints, unaddressed issues, and a lack of transparency. It's easier to control the narrative when the details are murky. And in this case, it seems like Berina is demanding clarity, not just for herself but for anyone who's ever felt mistreated at work. So, what's the bigger takeaway here? In my opinion, this story is a microcosm of the challenges women still face in the workplace, especially when it comes to motherhood and career. It's also a reminder that fighting for what's right isn't always convenient. It's often messy, stressful, and emotionally draining. But here's the thing, if we don't call out these injustices, they'll keep happening. Berina's fight isn't just her fight, it's a fight for fairness, transparency, and accountability in the workplace. As we wrap up, I'll leave you with this thought: what if Berina's story isn't just about her suspension or her lawsuit? What if it's a wake-up call for all of us to pay closer attention to the patterns and practices in our own workplaces? Personally, I think that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not just a legal battle, it's a conversation starter. And that, my friends, is why I'm talking about it today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you think this story reflects broader workplace trends? And what can we do to ensure that no one else has to go through what Berina's going through? Let's keep the conversation going.